Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Celente, and it's Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. And we have with us again, as I keep saying over and over again, we're going to have more proof when I know article that just came out by Judge Andrew Napolitano, will actually be out tomorrow, is Judge Andrew Napolitano. He talks about, things that don't exist anymore. A thing called the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Our founding fathers fought for our freedom. Nobody fights for freedom anymore. They just let us steal it away from us. Judge, thanks for being here today. You have an article coming out tomorrow. I read this thing. I got to tell you, it's heartbreaking. It's totally heartbreaking. Show me your papers. The right of people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, support by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. The Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Last week, in an unsigned order issued without an explanation and in direct defiance of the plain language of the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution, the Supreme Court of the United States permitted federal police to stop persons in public and demand to see proof of lawful presence here. And in the absence of proof, to arrest them. America.
Well, we've come full circle. We have become the totalitarian nations we fought against when Ronald Reagan called the old Soviet Union an evil empire and then was peppered with questions, not immediately, but in the days and weeks following. One of the reasons he gave for coming to that conclusion was the police can stop anybody on the streets and demand your papers, and we don't do that here. So this arises in the context of ICE, no surprise, in Los Angeles, going into restaurants and loading docks and warehouses and saying, hey, you with the brown skin, do you speak Spanish? Do you speak English? And the guy answers in Spanish, and they arrest him. And they're doing this in large numbers of people. They're arresting people on the basis of the color of their skin, the sound of their voices, and the location where they are lawfully assembling. And they're being held in confinement until deportation. Well, a couple of these people sued. A federal judge in Los Angeles said, you can't do that because of the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment requires an arrest warrant based on probable cause of crime, not based on skin color or voice tone, language spoken, or physical location. A federal appellate court upheld that decision, and then the Supreme Court, in its shadow docket, where it simply says yes, no, stop, go, it doesn't give reasons, said go to ICE and invalidated the court ruling below without an explanation. Justice Kavanaugh made the mistake of attempting to explain what the court did, and it was an embarrassment because he basically said in 10 pages, if you're stopped, don't worry about it. It'll be brief, and if you're an American, just show them your papers. Show them your papers. That's not consistent with the Bill of Rights. We don't have to show the police anything in order to stand in a public place and move on a public thoroughfare, or, in the case of these people being arrested, inside a business. But that's where we are today. A public, profound defiance of a core tenet of the Bill of Rights articulated by the Supreme Court without giving a reason. Show your papers.
I guess we should call it the Bill of No Rights anymore.
Well, or the Bill of Temporary Government Privileges.
Yeah, I better stay out of the. I better stay out of the sun. They may think, I'm too dark. They may ask me where my papers are. This is, I got to make this clear. I'm a trend forecaster. Only look at things the way they are, not the way I want them to be. And tracking trends is the understanding of where we are and how we got here to see where we're going. Let's go back to all these immigrants here. They let them come in, and there was a reason why. Again, I only write the facts. The reason why, go to Marshall's, go to Target, go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot. Help wanted, part-time or full-time. They pay the people nothing. They wanted all this cheap labor, construction, on and on. That's why they let them all come in. They wanted cheap labor. Okay, you let them come in, leave them alone. You got them here now. You don't want anybody else to come in, fine. But to do these to the people that you wanted to bring in here for their cheap labor, and now you're throwing them out like this?
And sometimes the distance in time between them being let in and thrown out is a generation.
Yeah.
And some of them have married and have children, and some of them have grandchildren.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? Deport them to a place that they haven't been to in 20 years? This letting them in has been going on for generations.
Yep.
The only president that was intellectually honest about this was Ronald Reagan. Simpson-Mazzoli legislation that he signed, which granted them all amnesty. He said, you know what? We let them in. We're going to stay off their backs. We're not going to let anybody else in. Just what you said. Yeah. We're going to stay off the backs of the people that are here, and we're declaring them legal. Since then, tens of millions have come in for the very reason you articulated, to enrich the oligarchs and also to enrich middle-class people that own businesses. Find somebody to cut your lawn in these rich neighborhoods today. You can't find them because they're afraid that ICE is going to arrest them.
Yep.
And because they're not working, what are they doing to support their families? The government has, as always, made a bad situation far worse. Now, with this show us your papers, they did deport 2 American citizens. Those people were eventually returned to the U.S., but not after 48 or 72 hours of hell, chained at their ankles and their wrists, treated like garbage. The very concept that the police can stop you for no articulable criminal reason and demand to see your proof of citizenship. I mean, suppose you were stopped right now, as soon as we finish doing this podcast. Could you prove your citizenship? No. Probably not. A driver's license doesn't prove it.
No.
And should you have to carry your passport with you? Should you have to respond to this? If the answer to that is yes, then East Germany is here.
Yeah. You said after the resolution had been won and the Constitution ratified, the 13 states ratified the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. The theory of the Bill of Rights is not that the new government would grant rights, but rather it was prohibited absolutely by legislation or executive decree from interfering with rights. As I said, we have the Bill of No Rights anymore.
Sometimes you and I get ridiculed for harping on the Bill of Rights as if we should recognize the fact that the presidency and a supine Congress and a supine court has allowed the Bill of Rights almost to evaporate. I'm not going to give up on this fight. I mean, 2 days ago, the Attorney General of the United States claimed that hate speech was criminal and she would prosecute people who engaged in speech that she felt was hateful. Well, the political reaction from the right and the left was so overwhelming, she had to backtrack on it. But the fact that she would make a statement like that, a 2-bit political hack statement, which if she said on a law school exam, she would flunk the exam, shows you how dark and dangerous these times are.
Oh, yeah. Look what they've done. I mean, we have no freedom of speech. You're against the genocide going on. Oh, by the way, the United Nothings came out this week again and said that it was genocide being committed in Israel. United Nothings. What a bunch of waste of damn money. These little arrogant, stupid clown boys and girls, the United Nations. Oh, these are the slime balls that invented the state of Israel, right? 1948.
Yes.
Invented it. Here, this is today's covers of the New York Times. It says, Israel ground forces push into Gaza City, forcing many to flee. Assault deepens humanitarian crisis. Yeah, good for them saying that finally. Where's the outrage?
Where's the resistance?
Where are all the Arab nations?
The Arab nations met in Doha, and all they did was issue condemnations of the American and Israeli attack on the Hamas negotiators in a civilian neighborhood in Doha. They didn't lift a finger to do anything about it. At some point, somebody has to stop Netanyahu and the crazy people in his government, because they're just going to keep killing innocent human beings and stealing land. At what point does this stop?
Oh, we're supporting it. Everybody get to work. I want your tax money so we can give it to Israel to keep killing these people, all right? So everybody shut your mouth and do what you're told. Oh, by the way, here's the cover of this week's magazine, Judge. To make it clear. We the people are sovereign and free. No, we the politicians are supreme. And we steal your money in the name of taxes to enrich ourselves and enrich the rich. That's America today. So here's an article. This is from the Wall Street Journal today. Here's the front page. Same picture, a little different. But here's what they say. You ready? Israel begins ground offensive to destroy Hamas in Gaza City. How about that for a lot of bullshit? To destroy Hamas in Gaza City? You mean you're bombing the whole place into total ruins? You got 2 million people that got nowhere to go. Oh, but we're getting Hamas. We're getting Hamas. Hey, they got sown. How do you know which of these people are Hamas and not Hamas? Shut the hell up, Celente. We got Jared Kushner over here again. Did you see that? This is the Jared Kushner, that's Trump's son-in-law, that we quoted in the Trends Journal back in March of 2024. Quote, this is very valuable waterfront property, and the Palestinians should be moved into the Negev desert. That Jared Kushner.
Correct. Speaking in behalf of his father-in-law, no doubt.
Yep. Oh, and you know about his father, right?
I do.
What happened?
His father, who is now the ambassador to France, was arrested, prosecuted, and convicted for hiring a prostitute to seduce his own brother and blackmailing the brother with the films of the seduction until the brother agreed to sign real estate over to him. And for all of his faults, Chris Christie is the prosecutor that, with great resistance from the political class, that led this charge and led this prosecution. And then Trump, of course, pardoned the father-in-law. After he got out of jail, he served 2 years in prison. Trump pardoned the father-in-law and now made him, the pardoning restores all your rights that you lose as a felon, made him the ambassador to France.
You can't make this crap up.
No, you can't make this stuff up.
You can't make this crap up. Look how disgusting that's. Oh, by the way, this is the Kushners when Netanyahu, actually his real name is Milikowski, but that's only a fact. When he came to America, he used to stay at the Kushner's house.
In New Jersey, correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Again,
I was once invited to a dinner at the home of the Archbishop of Newark, not the present Archbishop. This Archbishop who invited me has since passed away. And Jared Kushner and the father were there. And I said to the Archbishop, why are they here? He looked at me and he goes, Andrew, they're our biggest donors.
A sellout. A sellout. No, this is terrible what's going on, Judge, and it's only going to get worse. And the slaughter of these people in front of everybody's eyes, and nobody gives a damn. But we do. We're having a peace rally up here in Kingston, New York on September 27, 2 p.m. Judge Napolitano, Scott Ritter, Dennis Kucinich, Joe Lauria, Ray McGovern, a live podcast, a live screening with Roger Waters and others. So please come here on September 27th, Four Corners of Freedom, John and Crown Street. Go to occupypeace.com, occupypeace.com for more information. We're doing everything we can to fight for peace and freedom. And the billionaires don't give a penny for peace. The multimillionaires don't give a penny for peace. So please do what you can to support us, because we're supporting life on earth, goodwill to all. You know, and what the judge does, and you got to go to Judging Freedom to see the people he has on that are also fighting for this. Judge, who you got coming up?
I have Professor Jeffrey Sachs, I have Pepe Escobar, and I have Phil Giraldi today.
I got to tell you, the Phil Giraldi, the articles that he writes, we put him in the Trends Journal every week, are this guy's a real man. Only the facts. Like we give you only the facts, and you decide for yourself. Think for yourself. Judge, this article again that you have coming out, it's and you write to the end over here. To my colleagues in media, law, and academia who love liberty, and this is in capitals, where is your outrage before you are stopped and have no papers to show?
There's no outrage. There's a little bit of outrage amongst legal scholars at the absurdity of what the court did and Justice Kavanaugh's efforts to explain it away, but there's no serious outrage. Wait until ICE just starts to stop people in the streets and demand their papers. It's unconscionable what the Supreme Court did, and they did it without an opinion, without even explaining how they got there. So I don't know how this is going to end. The president is using ICE and the National Guard and even the active duty military as if they were his personal army. He sends them where he wants to send them. They don't know how to direct traffic. They don't know how to do DWI stops. They don't know how to preserve evidence. They're not enhancing public safety at all. They're enhancing an image of militarism and fear, but they're not enhancing public safety, and they're certainly not enhancing personal liberty.
No, it's sad. You know, and you're talking about it was an article that came out for Labor Day weekend. They issued the most amount of tickets in New York State for people during. I'm afraid to go out at night and have a couple of drinks. The cops are everywhere, stopping you for nothing. I mean, the freedom of this country is gone, and you're talking about the National Guard, you know, and all these other people, ICE with these guys with their masks on. You know, what are they? The SS. And look at this, with the guys with masks on and arresting people. I mean, what country is this? This isn't our country that our founding fathers fought for. And again, we're having a rally. We're fighting for peace, and we need you to help us. United we stand, divided we die. And again, you write the article about the Stamp Act in here and how the people rebelled against this. And you say, where is the outrage? Where are the people? There's so few of us that are out there that are doing what we can to bring back the freedom spirit of humanity. So anybody, keep going to Judging Freedom, because the judge has on there, we're doing what we can. And we're in a very dangerous time. They're going to ramp up this Israel war. They're talking now about bombs away. More and more people say, like, they're going to be bombing Iran again. If that happens,
maybe this time when Bibi cries uncle, the Iranians won't stop.
Yeah, very sad. Judge, thanks for everything you do. Again, everybody go to Judging Freedom because the people he has on there, like you don't see anywhere else. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Gerald. All the best to you, my friend.